Yo guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I've got the best 4-3-3-4 custom tactics. The formation with the cam and the centre mids, no DMs, anything like that. It's the 4-3-3-4 with the cam, obviously the wingers, centre mids, etc. This is the formation I'm using. Obviously this isn't my best team, but this is just a formation that I've been using in the gauntlet and a team that I put together for like the third game, and it's actually been very fun. It's been a really nice formation. The wingers play really well. They play in and around the striker. They create stall off a lot of opportunities. The cam plays really nice and high up, gets himself involved in the game a lot. The centre mids play a little bit more like DMs. When I first played with the 4-3-3, I had different tactics set up, and I just felt like I had no midfield at all. But then I changed to these tactics here, having these better tactics on my centre mids. They play a lot more like DMs. They sit a lot further back, so if I do get caught on the break or I lose the ball high up the pitch, my team are actually there ready to defend, and it's all ready to go. Now, my wing backs don't push up too high. They don't go past the wingers, which is great because the wingers are high up anyway. Overall, it just plays really, really nicely. Obviously, I've been using the 4-2-3-1 quite a lot as well. And in all honesty, I think this plays just as well, if not better than the 4-2-3-1 for my playstyle and the way that I like to enjoy playing the game. They're very similar formations. The wingers, obviously, in this are just a bit higher up. The centre mids are a bit higher up than the DMs, but you can actually set them up to be a bit deeper than the DMs on the 4-3-2-1, which is really, really nice. But enough waffling about the formation. Let's actually get into the actual tactics themselves, guys. So, of course, for the tactics, what we are going to be doing is changing all of this. So, tactical preset, you obviously want on custom. You're not going to have this as your FC preset. If you do that, it's just going to use your manager's tactics, which nobody really wants. The managers aren't exactly optimized in this game to make tactics. Formation is, of course, going to be the 4-3-3 attack. Now, the build-up style, there's a few different build-up styles I like this year that I never did last year. Last year, it was always on counter, and that was all I played. I didn't like any of the others. Balanced is great. I like the way balance works. It literally does what it says on the tin. It is balanced. You can counter, you can short pass, you can defend. All of it works really nicely. Build-up style counter, I do like it. I just find in this game, counter actually doesn't seem to work as well as it did last year because of how prominent and how good passing is in this game. So I have been playing short passing, guys. Short passing has been my favorite this year so far. You create a lot of opportunities. It's very easy to move the ball about, especially with how good passing is this year. If you've got any players with incisive pass or tiki-taka playstyles, the way you pass the ball around is just phenomenal. It's so fun. It's such a good way to play the game, and I honestly really enjoy playing the game like that. Now for our defensive approach, a lot of the time I've been actually playing on balance. But with this formation, I started out on high, found the defense and the midfield were a little bit too high, right? They just were pushed too high up. So I slowly was just dropping this down. I landed on 63, and 63 for me felt really, really nice. Like 63 depth was really, really nice. The defenders aren't too deep. They're not too high up. The midfield's in the right place where they're not going to be pushing on too much. Especially, again, those two centre mids. We're not going to be left without a midfield, which is exactly what we want. And to adjust that, guys, you just press Y on your controller, and then you can move this number to whatever you do want it to be. Yeah, like I said, 63 sort of area is a very good area to have it at. Like, you can change it a little bit if you want. Like, you can mess about with it. For me, 63 is nice. But again, if you want to change it to something that you want to just mess about with and have a little feel for the game and just see how it works out for yourself, you can go ahead and do that. Like I said, just because I'm running 63 doesn't mean you can't run 65 if you like your team slightly higher. Doesn't mean you can't run 58 if you like your team a little bit deeper. You can mess about with that yourself and just find what really, really works for you. But now moving on to the actual tactics themselves for the player roles, guys. What we're going to do is have a striker on advanced forward. Advanced forward, as always, is the best in this game. Everyone used to think that poacher was going to be the best because it's more about getting in behind and scoring. But the advanced forward, sorry, it has that sort of like getting behind mentality, but can also drop deeper, pick up the ball and play a bit wider as well. So advanced forward, since last year, has been the best one to go for. On the right wing, guys, we are going to have them on inside forward, and if you want to, you can have one of the wingers on inside forward and attack, so they're going to be more up and around the striker, in and around that box a lot more. But I've actually been having both of my wingers on inside forward and balance. Really, really liking how the way they work for this, because they still drop back when we lose the ball, so they're still going to get back, help recover the ball, and then catch them on the counter, get in behind, make those runs in with the striker to actually get into the box. So I really, really like how balance works. Like I said, maybe for example, you've got a really attacking minded winger that's not very good defensively. You might just want to put them on focus of attack, so they'll just stay a bit higher up the pitch. You are going to be left a little bit more open in that hole, but you could have them like that. But like I said, what I've been running is inside forward and balanced. Of course, the striker is advanced forward and attack. Now, when it comes to your cam, guys, you've got plenty of options to go for here, and you can really mess about with this to whatever suits your play style. As it's set up from the get-go, is playmaker and balanced. I don't really like playmaker on balanced. If I was going to run playmaker, I would have them on balance. I wouldn't be using build-up or roaming or anything like that. I'd just have them on balance. But what I've really liked this year, guys, is Shadow Striker. Having my cams on Shadow Striker, I've got it on Jude Bellingham in my main team. they're just in and around the striker so much. They're in and around the box. They're creating good opportunities to pass to. They can shoot from outside the box, dribble into the box. They just seem to have so much space in that shadow striker role. They just sit between everybody's midfield and defenders, find so much space, easy options to pass to, easy 1-2s, easy to get it into them. Like I said, dribble for the defenders, whatever it might be. Honestly, it works so well. It's been working well in this team with Sansei. It's been working well in my main team with Jude Bellingham. Shadow Striker, for me, just seems to be working really, really well. But like I said, again, it all comes down to playstyle, how your tactics are set up this year. You could try a Classic 10, or you could try a Playmaker. It's entirely up to you. The one thing I wouldn't have them on is half wing. I definitely wouldn't be doing that. But between Shadow Striker, Playmaker, and Classic 10, you can sort of mess about and see what works for you. But like I said, for me, Shadow Striker is absolutely perfect. Now, both our centre mids, guys, like I said before, these were really catching me out beforehand when I was using this formation. No matter what I had them on, I had one on deep line playmaker and one on box to box originally, and I just felt like my midfield was non-existent. Obviously, my Cam's shadow striker, so he's all the way up the pitch. I had a deep line playmaker who was basically in with the defenders, and then my box to box was just always forwards to try and help on the counter attack. I just felt like my midfield was totally missing. So what we've done to change this, guys, is we put both our midfielders on holding. That is it. Not deep line playmaker, nothing like that. Just holding and defend. And this works really, really nicely. If you want to have one on defending, or sorry, one on holding and defend, you can do, and then have the other one on deep line playmaker on defend. You could try that if you want to. But like I said, personally, what I found works really, really well with this formation is holding and defend on both your centre mids. So if you are going to put two centre mids in there, you do kind of want them to have semi-decent attacking stats, because there is times they are still going to get forwards every now and then. But mostly you're going to want your centre mids to have more defensive stats, because they are going to be sat deeper. They are going to be helping your team out on the counter attacks and just breaking down your opponent a lot more often. So I definitely recommend you do get some good defensive stats on both of those centre midfielders. Both our centre backs are of course just going to be defender on defend, and then of course both our full backs, like I just said, are going to be on fullback and defend. This is very, very crucial. Like I said, if you guys do happen to, let's say I was just going to say Dolan, for example, I was going to have him set up on inside forward and attack. You might maybe want Martinez there at right back to become versatile, just to, you know, get in that extra little hole that's going to be left behind Dolan. But what I would really recommend, guys, is just having them both on fullback and defend, and then have both your wingers on inside forward and balance. And that's what I've been set up with. As you can see, that's how it looks without the ball, guys, just the standard formation. Then when you've got the ball, look at how forward that center, that cam is pushed up, how much the wingers tuck in. You're almost playing like a 4-2-1-3, but with cams, or three strikers if you like. Or, you know, like in the old FIFAs, we had the striker and the two centre forwards. That's basically what this one plays up, with the cam up there as well. So it's a really, really nice way that it plays. If you haven't tried out the 4-3-3 yet, I definitely recommend you do go and try it out. There's the code on screen right now, so you can go ahead and copy the code if you do want to get that down for yourself, and take a little note so you can just copy it in rather than having to actually assign everything. You can just come over here, use code, type the code in that we've just seen. But that is what I've been running, guys. I really, really do enjoy it. Like I said, if we go to my main team really quick, where are we? Squad selector. My main team, I've been running the 4-2-1-3, which is this team right here. And I'm not going to lie to you, I think I prefer the 4-3-3-4. And I know a lot of pro players are using this formation, but I think unless you're a pro player and you're competing at the very, very top level, this formation isn't the best. I find that I get so many more attacking options when I run the 4-3-3-4. I find that my wingers are higher. You know, overall, it's just a lot more attacking. It's easier to score goals. I create a lot more opportunities. This formation may be slightly more solid defensively, but going forwards, unless you're a pro player and you can easily break down your opponent, and you're just making the perfect moves, it's a lot harder to break down an opponent than what the 4-3-3 is. So if you are trying out any of these formations, or you're just looking for a new formation, I highly recommend the 4-3-3-4, guys. Like I have just showed you, it is a very, very nice formation. Plays really, really nicely. And of course, if you've got the squad for it, and you can play the players in the right positions, etc., like good wingers that are fast, pacey, good shooting, all that sort of stuff, guys, definitely recommend you do give it a go. If you have enjoyed today's video, it has helped you out, guys, be sure to smash thumbs up. If there's any more custom tactics you want me to try out, any more formations or anything like that, let me know. I can go ahead and try them, try and find the best custom tactics that are set up for those formations as well. Let me know in the comments if there's any of those. Make sure you are subscribed, notifications, so any more videos on the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one in a bit. Woo.